Estimating with decimals. This skill comes in real handy when you're dealing with money and shopping and trying to figure out about how much money you're going to need for things. So whenever you're dealing with estimating for money, I would always suggest estimate to the high side. But if you're just asked to estimate to the nearest integer, say for example you have 84.902 plus 2.39, and they want you to round to the nearest integer, that would be the number that is just to the left of the decimal point. Okay, the nearest integer would be the number just left. So the nearest integer is going to be either 84 or it could be 85. Here the nearest integer is going to be 2 or it might be 3. All right? So if you're rounding to the nearest integer, it'll either stay the same or it'll go up. So to round, we look at the number that is right next to the integer, which is in the 10th place. And since that is a 5 or greater, that means we're going to say that 84 is going to go up to 85. And the 3 is less than 5, so that means that 2 is going to stay the same. So if we round to the nearest integer, then this is going to be about 87. Okay? When we round to the nearest integer, it's the same thing when you subtract. So if, for example, if you had 10.38 and you're going to subtract 6.721, okay, round to the nearest integer. The nearest integer, here it is. It's either going to be 10 or 11, and this one we're going to round to either 6 or 7. So I look here, that is a 3, which is less than 5, which means this 10 is going to stay the same, so this will be 10. And we're going to subtract, we look here, and that is 5 or more, so this 6 is going to go up to a 7. So 10.38 minus 6.721 is about 10 minus 7, which is about 3. Okay? So that's rounding to the nearest integer. This next thing I'm going to show you talks about rounding using compatible numbers. Okay, compatible numbers. Compatible means they go well together. They work well together. You and your best friend are compatible because it's easy. The two of you get along well. So a compatible number, another way to say that is they are easy numbers to work with. Oh, not to work with. They're easy numbers to work with. That's what compatible numbers mean. Okay? And again, it's going to be to the nearest integer. So to make things easy on ourselves, let's say we have 32.197 times 5.655. Wow, that looks hard. I don't even want to deal with that one right now. So if I said to estimate, you were told to estimate, and when you estimate, it means that you don't have to give an exact number. I want to estimate when I want to use compatible or easy numbers to work with. Now this is a time where I may go up or down. I might round up or down. So 32, that's closer to, we want to either go to something that ends in a 0, something that ends in a 5. Those are easy numbers to work with, right? So 32, let's round that to 30. That's easier to work with than 32.197. 5.65, well, let's round that to 5. That's a lot easier. Now, 30 times 5. Well, remember our trick with zeros. Forget about the 0. What's 3 times 5? 15. Now let's add the 0 back. Well, that was much easier. So 32.197 times 5.655 is going to be about 150. Now, if you got your calculator on you, which you should always have, go ahead and plug in this and see what the exact answer is. Okay, so you must have got a really long number, 182 point, and then it goes on and on, 0, 7, 4, 0, 3, blah, blah, blah. So about 150. Well, 182 is not too far off from 150. Gives you an idea of where your answer should be. Okay, let's try another one with compatible numbers. Let's say, for example, you've got 51.38, and you're going to multiply it by 37.1. And we want to use compatible numbers to make it real easy, so we don't need a calculator. So I look at 51.38. I want it to end in either a 0 or a 5 to make it nice and easy peasy for me. So 51.38, I'm going to think of that as, what would you say? 50. Yep. And 37.1, what would we think of that? That's about 40. You're thinking, well, I can't do that in my head. Sure you can. Forget the zeros. Forget them for right now. What is just 5 times 4? 20. Now put the 2 zeros back. There you go. So 51.38 times 37.1 is going to be about, and that's our way we say about 2,000. So we use compatible numbers that make it easy for us to multiply. You can do the same thing for division. Now, it is important you know your basic facts for this. Let's say you had 46.72, and we are going to divide 9.24. So we have to say, oh my goodness, how can I change that to make it nice and easy? Well, you got to know your basic facts to help you on this, because you say, well, wait a minute. If I change this 46 to 45 divided by 9, change this to a 9, 45 divided by 9 is 5. That was easy. So 46.72 divided by 9.24 is about 5. Because I changed it to use compatible numbers to make it easy. And again, remember, this is just an estimate. This is not the exact answer. Okay, let's look at these next two. Thinking about compatible numbers, what would make it easy for us to take 31.53 divided by 4.12? What could we do? Well, if I kept that as a 4, we know our basic facts. If I change that to 30 divided by 4, now that doesn't work. That's not going to give me something easy. 35 divided by 4, nope. So hopefully something's kicking into you and you're saying, Miss Aquino, we know it's 32 because 32 divided by 4 is a basic fact. And you would be right. Okay, so we would say I'm going to change 31.53. I'll change that to 34. I'll change 4.12 to just 4. And so this answer is going to be about 8. All right? Now let's take a look at this problem. 28.22 divided by 3.156. I'm going to show you can have two answers for this, but both answers I would consider correct. Some of you might easily say, ooh, wait a minute, I can move that to 30, right? Couldn't I bump that up to 30 and 30 divided by 3? I can change 28.22 to 30. I could leave this as 3. So 30 divided by 3, so it's going to be about 10. Well, that's the right answer. But somebody else might think, hey, wait a minute, I know my basic facts, And I know that 27 divided by 3 is 9. So I would make this go down to 28. I'd round down to 27. And I'd keep that at a 3. So I would come up with 27 divided by 3. I'd say the answer is about 9. Well, and I'd say, you know what? Both of those are very good thinking, and both of those are correct answers. Okay. Go ahead and pause and work out these 8 problems. So notice how they are different. You're estimating to the nearest integer on the top 1 through 4, and then you're finding compatible numbers on the second series of 1 through 4. So pause, and then when you're done with all of them, then start it up again to see the answers. All right, good luck. All right, here are your answers. Check how you did. Up here at the top, I put what you should have estimated your numbers to. The answers are circled. And in a couple instances, I've given 2 possible answers. If you have any questions, please bring your questions to class tomorrow. All right, that's it. See you in class.